So starting the test drive in this Hornet GT, it's a very interesting play by Chrysler, specifically with the Dodge lineup, to come out with a vehicle like this. I mean, you have the Trailblazer, the Kia Seltos, the Hyundai Kona as competitors, even the Rogue Sport, but still just interesting in my opinion. And what makes it such an interesting play is I feel like they're late to the party bringing this all-new Hornet to market. But at the same time, when you see the numbers, the Trailblazer has done quite well. And then the Kona and the Seltos have been kind of doing their own thing as well. The cars are still selling, they're still out on the roads. Like I said, Dodge is just several years late to the party. And I can't remember if the Seltos came out first, or I guess it was probably the Kona, but ever since the Trailblazer came back, I think Chevy did such a good job with that vehicle, and then pairing it with the Encore GX, that it kind of brought that market share back. In terms of just having a small SUV that drives like a car more than it does an SUV. But what makes this interesting is this is one of the more powerful engines that are offered for a vehicle like this. Now in the Trailblazer, you have either the 1.2 or 1.3. You can get an electric Kona, but for the most part, you have naturally aspirated engines. Mostly I see those, I think, with it's like a 2-liter naturally aspirated 4-cylinder in the Konas. And then the Seltos, I think that one was around 2 liters naturally aspirated as well. I have to double check. But by far, this is the more powerful engine. You're getting 268 horsepower, 295 pound-feet of torque from a 2-liter turbo 4. It's just an interesting play in my opinion. So I have the vehicle in sport mode now. I'm gonna put it into the manual mode. And I'm gonna get on the interstate here. And then we'll give it a little throttle. Little hesitant on the shifts, but a pretty powerful car. And then something interesting that I have determined is these controls are quite strange. And I'm saying that to say it's just, nothing is where you would expect it to be. So being able to change your menus from the right side here, and then your lane sense trigger is over there. Your sport mode's here, the auto stop's down there. It's interesting. It's a weird setup in my opinion. But ride quality is decent for this car coming down the interstate. Nothing out of the ordinary for something like this in this segment. But again, it's one of the more powerful vehicles you can get in a small SUV like this. And there's the auto stop there. Now in terms of what you get for the money, it's around 33 grand sticker price for this car. But I mean, you're getting a Trailblazer pretty loaded out for around that money. The Seltos, I don't even know if it goes that high. So again, it's an interesting play to get this engine and transmission for this price point, because it is a tad expensive for a vehicle like this. But again, it has its own market. If you're in the market for a Seltos, if you're in the market for a Trailblazer, Hyundai Kona, then I mean, you definitely want to make sure you take a look at this car and then make your own assumptions about what's offered here. But this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Dodge Hornet GT all-wheel drive.